Welcome to hole number one of the Metropolitan 9-hole Cup. Now, starting off here on this par four, I'm going to play it two different ways. The first way is a little bit more conservative. I'm going to play here with the katana and the extra mile. You'll see we're going to switch the ball here in just a moment. There we go. Because I want to use that 3 bars of side spin to the right. So somewhere between around 1 bar of top spin, 3 bar of right spin, and I'm setting this one up directly onto the second fairway. So I'm going to make the pull here, 10% max, and you'll notice that I use approximately half a ball of right curl just to get this one down where we need it. So there you go, a little bit more than half, like maybe, a couple clicks more than half a ball of right curl. Comes in very nicely, bounces exactly where we intended, rolls out, puts us in a decent position for the second shot. Second shot, I am playing this with my favorite wood club, the Sniper, and you'll see that we're going to actually use 5.5 bars of backspin. Now, this one is contingent on the wind. It's quite low here, so I'm able to make the adjustment, but, excuse me, we're very close to the min line here, so you have to keep that in mind. This won't work in every kind of wind situation, but it's definitely the kind of shot you want to have in your back pocket and be able to execute on as needed. So clean a little pull here. 30% min is the pull here, and I think you'll be happy with the outcome. This is a very difficult hole. If you can get the eagle here to start the tournament, you're really going to put yourself on a good pace and really show those people in your bracket that you came to play. You mean business. Let's try this one a little bit more aggressively. Hole number one, this time with a strong tailwind. You'll see I'm kind of checking things out here on this shot. I set it up at first with the power 3 ball, I believe. Yeah, and we're going to give it 4.5 bars of topspin, maybe a little bit more if you've got it. And I realized, we can just get the reach all the way over those trees. And I mean, look at the angle of this wind. I'm not even going to adjust. We're just lining it up down the middle of the fairway. We're going to grip it and rip it, max overpower here. Do your best to hit perfect. However, I think I hit great here. Yes, I did a slight great left in this example, and this should still leave us in a very decent position. So you can see here how this one comes in, and it's going to leave us with a wedge shot. Now, normally that's like, an auto eagle, but the way this green works, it's really going to depend on, the angle of approach, the distance on your drive as to how your shot will play. I might actually be inclined to play rings from min with a backspin thorn shot here. So keep that in mind. This one does not come in very nicely at all. I still put 20% on the note because that's your sort of standard endbringer setup. But honestly, this one, it's not nearly as nice as the first one. However, I do think there's always some merit to having yourself in that wedge range. And I think, when you're in that tournament setting, you can really dial it in with that same wind that you can practice with. So keep that in mind. This one, it's a good look. It puts us very close to the green on a difficult par 4. So I really wanted to show you this. But as you can see, it hit the side of that hill and just goes crazy. But hit it. Just before we play hole number 2, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, the incredible game Raid Shadow Legends. This is a free-to-play game available on mobile and PC. Raid Shadow Legends is a huge hit among mobile games, but it's also available on PC as well, so you don't have to limit yourself. This is especially how I love to play it here at home. The game is allowing you to choose the pace of play. You can play it casually and enjoy the high-quality graphics and just enjoy the scenery, or go and dive deep and compete at a high level with other players in the PvP arena. In Raid, you also have more than 700 unique champions to use and a lot of different strategies, which will help you to complete endless challenges the game can offer, including bosses, dungeons, the Doom Tower, and much, much more. The game also has a great lore, which you already can explore through Raid Call of the Arbiter. It is an awesome new limited series which tells you more about the characters and their background, and Raid's adding some of the new characters from the series as champions that you can play with in-game, which I think is really awesome, right? And the first one is Artak, a mighty orc warlord which super cool is that RTAC is going to be available to everyone for free. All you have to do is just log into Raid for 7 days between now and July 24th. You got lots of time. If you've seen episode 1 of Call of the Arbiter, you'll definitely want this guy. And if you haven't seen it yet, what are you waiting for? Go check it out, and then remember to log in for 7 days to get RTAC. With all of this exciting stuff and more coming to Raid, if you haven't started playing yet, then what are you waiting for? New players, use my link or scan the QR code right here on the screen and get a free starter pack with awesome in-game loot. Hit my link in the description, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Hole number 2, this is a classic par 5 from the Parc de Paris course. Once again, we're going to grip it here and rip it. 3 bars of top spin, 2 bars of left spin, and I'm setting up with a Zerk and an extra mile directly over on the second fairway. If you have to, you can bounce with a big topper on the first fairway and get it up towards this fairway, but you got to do everything you can do to get this one close to the green. Max over power, using almost a full ball of left curl here, which I believe is max left curl for this level of extra mile. Once again, we had a little great ball, but that is not going to be a problem here. As you can see, this will come in quite nicely. Sorry about the slightly glitchy gameplay clips. These are a little bit older. That's before I had my system set up quite as good as I do now. Second shot, I'll be playing this one with the Guardian. We're going to use max backspin, 1 bar of left spin, and we'll adjust this shot at -5% max. That's uphill, -5%. Take a look at that second bounce. It's approximately 1 square left and 1 square behind the hole. That's sort of like the baseline setup here, and you know, there's a little bit of a funnel behind this hole if you can catch it quite nicely. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to spoil it here. We are going to hit a little bit of a great ball here, but it's still going to come in very, very nicely. This is a great way to look at this hole, though, and I think that the Guardian is really your best shot here. So don't mind me. Gives you a good look at how this shot plays. Checks up a little bit, but all in all, this one will give you a very, very nice play. Hole number 3, this par 4, this is the only other hole. I'll show you 2 options. Setting up on the right-hand side, I've got a lower level extra mile here and a Zerk. So I'm going to play this one 4.5 top and about a half a bar of left spin. You see I'm kind of stretching it out to max just to get an idea where this ball is going to play. 10% max on this adjustment here. We're going to make the pull, and then we're going to use max over power. Now, this is a dangerous shot. You really need to practice this. And actually, I guess I pushed it up to max, but we're pretty much there already. It's a bit of a dangerous shot because it's kind of sensitive. And if you're not careful and you end up in the rough, the trees in front of the green are certainly in play. So this one, you really need to be sure that this is going to be the shot for you. There's other ways to play this hole. I'll show you a different technique. But if you can get it down here and put yourself on this little lily pad in front of the green, gives you a very nice second shot with an end bringer. 30% max it's playing here for me. It's a bit of a downhill shot here. Well, 30% at slider, so it's just a bit more elevation. So I set it up with my standard no spin approach and just kind of eyeballing it. Make sure we get things where they need to be. 30% on there. So we're going to be pulling that at slider about 2 rings here. So clean and easy does it. I think this is going to be an interesting tournament, you guys. Only par 4s and par 5s. It's going to take a bit of time to work through all the different shots. There's a good mix of really makeable and very difficult holes. So I don't know. I think it'll be fun. I think you should hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel for all sorts of Golf Clash fun. We'll try this one on the left side. Okay, hole 3. This time with a bit more of a tailwind. You can bring yourself even just a regular Zerk, but if you've got a P5 topspin boost ball, even a topspin 4 ball, you can do some real damage and get this one really close to the green. With a bit more topspin, you could actually get it to the green. So I play here with max topspin here. That's with 3 topspin boosts and about a half a bar of left curl. So that works out well with this Bryson ball, which of course, you know, I know not everybody has, but with the Zerk, you're still going to put yourself in about max distance end bringer here. So I make it clean, 10% max adjustment. Going to give this one just a little bit, about a quarter, you know, outer wall left curl here. And you'll be the judge for yourself if you think this is the kind of shot that works for you. Landing there, clipping that rough. You'll do the same thing with the Zerk, and you'll end up, you know, a little bit shorter, of course. But all in all, this gives you another really nice look at this pin. So second shot, playing it with the end bringer. Of course, I'll show you the way it plays here. And just stretching it out, we're about mid distance here or so. So that's the thing. We're going to use no spin, tip of the ball guide to the pin. 20% mid should be about 1.1 rings. And that will line it up. Beautiful wind angle here, of course, for this wedge. You know, if you didn't adjust and just eyeballed it, you'd probably get this one to drop either way. So, like, you know, this is going to be interesting. This is a tough hole. This is one of those ones where if you get the eagle, you know, especially from the front tee, you're going to be in a really good position. Good luck. Hole number 4, bring a Titan and a quarterback here. I set this one up with the red ring touching the right rough, and I've got that second bounce about 1 ring or so from that far rough. 3.5 top here, 2 bars of right spin. You know, if you've got 4 bars of top spin on your quarterback, feel free to use it. And like I said, red ring on the right there, second bounce, and then we're going to go like 1.5 balls of right curl. This is a great shot. If you've got an APOC, of course, you could set up something very, very similar. But even still, this quarterback is so accurate. Slight great balls, especially great right here, should be perfectly fine and give you a very good look for your second shot. Bring in the sniper here. We're going to be at absolute maximum distance. Wishing I had a sniper 7 because, of course, you'd get a little better ball guide. So I'm using approximately half a bar of topspin. You'll be the judge for yourself. I think I could have gotten away with just like no spin here, honestly. 10% max is going to be the adjustment here, and I'm really favoring, just like in my mind, like the right edge of the cup here. You know, obviously the ball guide is what it is from that distance, but perfect away helps you every single time. And you know, this is a classic old Maple Bay course, been around for a very long time, so of course we got to see the boom. Coming in hot though, but gives us a nice look. Hole 5, classic old Parc de Paris once again, max top and about 1 bar of left spin, setting up down the middle with the big topper and the Titan ball. Importantly, you'll notice where the second bounce is kind of in the middle of that rough patch, just past the central bunker. It's kind of the eyeball position I like to set that one up. Titan here, like I said, 10% max, and I'm not really doing anything crazy. If you've got a better wind, a tailwind, you can play this with an EM7. But, you know, it just depends on your club and ball combination here. You might need to use, you know, set up with a P3 and then swap to a P5 or P4 to be able to adjust to play the same shot in headwind. But all in all, get this one down to this far fairway, around 350 or so, and you'll give yourself a beautiful wedge to the pin. You could lay up here on the right-hand side of this hole, but I really think that trying to go down the middle as often as possible is really going to give you the best chance for success. Now, I played this shot here at 10% mid with the Endbringer. Normally, I would play 20. You know, and I think with the Endbringer 3, the difference between the 10% and the 20% is literally like 0.1. This was before I knew about the Endbringer school. So keep that in mind. You know, it's all in good fun, but this one is a really good opportunity for a drop. So make sure to spend a practice token or 2 to get yourself set up and situated to get this one at the pin. Hole number 6, Titan and a big topper here. We're going to play max top and about 1 bar of left spin. Setting this one up, you know, if it was tailwind or crosswind at max with like half the red ring in the left rough, I have to pull it back to that +7 mark just to give me a little bit of room to adjust here. Not a lot of rings required with the big topper, which is nice. So I pushed this one to max here just to make sure we've got the distance we require. Using a full ball of left curl here, maybe 1 1/4, depending on your wind. And this one should come in very, very nicely, looking at that second shot. So just before the bunker, a little bit of room to work with. You could, of course, play with an APOC if you have one here. It's just like the extra mile doesn't have enough curl to give you this kind of shot. Second shot, if you've got a headwind here, I think this min distance horizon is absolutely a fantastic play. You could also play a bounce up, you know, with the sniper here. It's absolutely doable. But I mean, come on, 8.5 top, 1.5 left, and we're going to go for a 10% min horizon rough bump. I mean, come on, you got to have a little fun. You too, David. Give it a shot, bro. I believe in you. Now, this one, I'm going to adjust here. Like I said, 10% min. Now, that bunker could come into play a little bit, but the horizon doesn't need a lot of rings to adjust either. So we'll give it a little click adjustment. Try to hit perfect, especially with this horizon. Great left, I don't think would be terribly safe here, but not too bad. Jumps over the bunker. I mean, you know, it's a little spicy. Gives it a really nice look, though. I just want to see you drop this one live. Good luck, guys. Okay, hole number 7. I'm not a huge fan of this hole. You can definitely play it to that little pad on the right. But I think it's been working out pretty well for me the times I've played this one directly out to the left-hand side. So I set up with the power 3 ball, max topspin with the big topper, which you've noticed a lot in this video, but it just seems to work well with these holes. So max top, 10% adjust, push to max here, and we're going to go like circle drop over power, just about, just to kind of give it a little bit to get down there. Depending on your level of comfort, of course, you could go a little bit more. But the idea here is that we're trying to set ourselves up for a nice little rough bump. Going to use the sniper for that, and that's going to be beautifully played here with a 20% max adjustment. We're not quite at max, but very, very close. About one back, 1 bar of right spin should work very, very nicely here. Now, I see this is fine margins. You could use 2 bars of right spin and land a little bit more to the left where there's, a little bit a safe margin to work with. Keep that in mind. It just depends on you and your tolerances. But I think this is going to be a play that many, many people are going to want to go for here. Hoping we get those wind angles, of course, that don't make us pull down into the bunker. So it comes out cleanly, slightly over adjusted, but I think this is going to be the path for the vast majority of players. Hole number 8, this is a classic replay. You can see me playing it with the basic ball. Come on, don't be cheap. At least bring a Marlin, maybe even a Navigator. Live on the edge a little bit, on the wild side. Basically, I'm just laying this one up to the end of the first fairway. Of course, a sniper here with its developed ball guide and accuracy would be preferable. But I think this is something that, it's nice to show that it's not all about max level clubs, big everything. Sometimes it's just about playing the shot that the situation requires. So getting it into there, just past that first shadow. Lots of fairway to work with, but don't go too long here. Second shot also played at 10% max. Now, I actually played this one with about half a bar of backspin. Well, if I didn't, I think I meant to, because this one comes in quite hot. However, you're going to see a pretty decent outcome. Shut up, Dadon. We're trying to play some Golf Clash here. Don't spam, okay? Don't be that guy. I know you can turn it off. And I think, actually, with the new updates that they'll probably come out with this year, I can see them. I mean, my guess is there's going to be a permanent mute button for chat. That's one of my guesses. Make sure to line this one up directly at the hole. You're going to go ahead and hit perfect here, and this should give you a very, very nice look at it. Of course, this one, it can be a little touch and go, but get to the hole. That's what I'm talking about. Hole number 9, this is a long par 5. I'm going to play with the extra mile and the Titan ball, and we're going to set it up here on the right-hand side. I actually would recommend, 4.5 back, 1 right spin here with the extra mile. And we're going to play this one to get to the end of this fairway without going over. Bring a rock here. Bring a quarterback. Bring a Thor's hammer. Bring something a little bit more accurate if you've got that available to you, just to be sure that you can position this drive exactly where you want it. You do not, a little bit of curl here, keep that in mind. You do not want this one to go in the rough because your eagle's dead at that point. And as you can see, we're playing with the big dog here on the second shot, also at 10% max. Not a big fan of this hole to end the tournament. It's kind of hard to end your stream on an Albie with a hole like this. It's doable. It's possible. But this one is a lot of work. I end up playing this one with about 4.5 to 5 bars of topspin, 1 bar of right spin, mainly because I'm trying to stay away from that bunker, because I am going to be playing max overpower here with the big dog. And, 5 top, 1 right comes in a little bit past the hole, but not too bad. So max overpower here. You just want to get this one down safely. Get your eagle. Guys, I really appreciate you watching the video. If you're still watching and you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Trying to hit 10K by the end of the year. That would be amazing. What is amazing, though, is playing this game with you. I love this community, and I'm looking forward to catching you in the tournament. Good luck.